Russell Wilson owns the San Francisco 49ers. Pete Carroll owns Kyle Shanahan. But do those things matter in a season like this? A season where you're one of the worst teams, probably the second worst team in the conference. A season where drama off the field is unfolding just as fast as incompetence on the field. Do those things hold up through a season like this? I guess we're going to find out. So, good Saturday morning, everyone. We got another game. We have another game, and all I can say to start as a sort of minimum threshold of acceptability is hopefully I can at least stomach watching it, because there has not been a lot of watchable Seahawks football lately. So that's kind of the barrier for passing, right? I just want this team to give me a product that doesn't make me want to turn the TV off in the third quarter. If they can do that, then I can acknowledge some degree of improvement. And look, I would love to win. Don't get it twisted. Just because I think this season is over, just because I know that we have like a 2% chance statistically of making the playoffs, just because I've already resigned myself to a 5-12 record in all likelihood, doesn't mean that I don't want to win. I want to beat the 49ers. I want to derail their season, which is, by the way, starting to turn around, starting to look like they might be a playoff team. I want to be the team that pushes them off the tracks a little bit. Even if we can't completely derail them, I want to at least push them off for a week. I want Wilson's record against the 49ers to continue to be something we can hold over their fans. I want Kyle Shanahan to continue to be the one coach that Pete Carroll has, to some extent, figured out how to handle. But I don't know if those things are going to hold up in a season where things are so bad. I'm really wondering if the team's even going to show up and try this Sunday. And even if they do show up and try, even if they do give effort, are they good enough to beat a Niners team that is playing some pretty good football lately? So there's a lot to overcome before you can even talk about winning this game. So the Seattle Seahawks, starting with the offense in this game, you're playing a Niners team. They got problems on that defense. They got no Fred Warner. They got no Dre Greenlaw, who, by the way, hasn't really played very much this year, but he did come back in the most recent game, so they were hoping to have him back. And he's somebody who is he's a good player, so losing him matters. They have issues in their secondary, stretching back to a couple months ago when they started losing guys like Verrett. You really would expect Russell Wilson to snap out of it at some point, right? You would. He's had a very impressive career. The first 9 years of his career are pretty remarkable. One of the better 9-year starts that you will find in NFL history. So for him to just be bad and stay bad for an extended period of time like this, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop at some point. Now, if it drops now, it's too late for this season. But I go back to what I said last week. I am willing to reconsider my positions on coaches and players if I see things change. That's the nature of following sports. You think one thing, but then you see evidence to the contrary, and then you start thinking another thing. So I saw some baby steps for Wilson in picking up this offense against Washington, but we got 6 games left in this season, and we've got a very, very tumultuous offseason coming up. Wilson needs to show me a lot more than baby steps. And I get it. Things are not perfect right now. The running back depth is wafer thin right now, to the point where we literally had to pull Adrian Peterson out of semi-retirement. The offensive line, we're missing the one young, promising guy on that line right now, so that's unfortunate. And things are starting to deteriorate a little bit up there, but that's mostly a run blocking thing, that's already kind of irrelevant anyway because the running backs are so bad. I understand that the situation is not ideal for him, but look, those kinds of things, all the more reason why you got to get the ball out on time. You got to get the ball out quick. So I'm going to continue to say it until this season is over. Right now, as of right now, I have questions about Wilson's viability in this offense. I have questions about his viability in any offense that is based around rhythm and timing. But if he shows me something impressive in the next 6 games, then I can reevaluate. So that to me is still the most important thing in this game. I want to see if Wilson can start moving in the right direction there. I want to see if maybe the relationship with him and DK Metcalf can go the other way from where it is right now. Right now it seems like we're headed towards a bad place. Like, DK Metcalf coming off the field at one point in that game and pointing at Geno Smith. Don't try to tell me that doesn't mean anything. That means something. And look, I can think whatever I want to think about Wilson. You can think whatever you want to think about Wilson. You can love him, you can hate him, you can like him, you can be indifferent. It doesn't matter what we think about Wilson, but it really matters what a guy like DK Metcalf thinks about Wilson. That matters. And if that relationship were to deteriorate and only one of them could stay and the other one would have to go, then we have a problem. That's something that needs to be factored in when we're making our decision on whether or not to keep Wilson around for the next several years. So that continues to be the most important thing. And like I said, I am willing to reconsider my position. My position right now is that Wilson, for some reason, cannot quite get this down the way he needs to. That's the most important thing for me. Now, there are other things on this team that I want to continue to see because, like I said last week, I don't think anything's changed that much. This is about what can be saved. This season cannot be saved. And I know 538 gives us like a 2% chance, but I'm looking to what can be saved going into next year. Hopefully with a clean slate. Guys like Darrell Taylor, guys like maybe DJ Reed because he's still young. Guys like Jamal Adams. I know that we know Jamal Adams is good, but can Jamal Adams continue to be a big-time playmaker? Can Jamal Adams continue to show signs of doing the things that some people think he can't do, like cover? Can he advance in these areas to start to convince more of the fans that he can at least be an elite safety, even if he'll never be everything you want him to be right now, because we legitimately traded what looks like a top 5 pick for him. Yeah, we know. So I'm just trying to figure out what can be saved. And these things are important, right? The more stuff you can save going into the next year, the less you have to replace. Okay? But my concern is that we're not even going to get to the point where we can find out about that stuff. My concern is we're not even going to be able to make evaluations like that because, well, I'm just going to say it. I will not be shocked if this team goes through the motions Sunday afternoon. You've got a 2% shot at the playoffs. You're 15th in your conference. You're on a 3-game losing streak with your starting quarterback in there. Your starting quarterback, he's clearly bothered by his finger, or supposedly. It depends on who you ask. But whatever it is, he's not playing well at all. Your offensive line is not playing well. You've got very little at running back. The defense, there's no revival for this pass rush, right? Like, they are what they are at this point. If they were going to get revived, it would have happened by now. You've got some injuries to some of the young promising players that you were getting excited about for a little bit there, like Damian Lewis, who is out, and Trey Brown, who is out for the year. So there's a lot of reason to believe that this team might just be ready to pack it in. And whether we like it or not, NFL teams do roll over sometimes. they do just decide to go, we suck, we're injured, this other team is good, it would be a lot of work to actually go give maximum effort for 3.5 hours just to probably lose anyway. Let's just half-ass it. I've seen it all the time in the NFL. So, I'll say this. You guys know how I feel about Pete Carroll, but if the team, with everything that's going on right now, coupled with the possibility that they don't really like each other right now, which is rumored, I want to be clear about that. It's not confirmed, it's rumored that the players are not getting along, they're really not getting along with Wilson, that there's a rift developing in the locker room, it's deja vu all over again with the Legion of Boom. If those things are actually the case, then I'm going to give Pete Carroll some credit if he can actually get this team to give effort on Sunday. Like, go out there and put it all on the line to beat a division rival at home. Because, to be perfectly honest, if things are as bad as they seem to be, and if things are as bad as they are rumored to be, then, honestly, I feel like football games are not even the foremost thing on these players' minds right now. These coaches' minds, too. It really might just be a thing of, let's get the rest of this season over with so we can all get the hell out of here as soon as this season's over. So, if we get punched in the mouth early in this game and the 49ers go up like 10-0, or maybe they get an early takeaway, something like that, if they can take control of the game early, I will not be shocked. I will not even really be that surprised if the team just kind of lays down and takes it. That's where we are right now with this team. I will be impressed if they actually give effort. And that's unfortunate, not just because I still want to win, because let me be clear about this. Not big into the whole tanking thing. Like, especially in a year where you don't gain that much from tanking anyway. You could argue maybe it's more likely you get people fired, but it's not like I want to clean house. You got to understand, I don't want to clean house. I feel like we need to clean house because the house is built so incompetently. But if the house can start to prove me wrong, then I might say, okay, there's some big pieces of this house that we can keep around. But I want to be able to evaluate some of this stuff. And if the team decides to half-ass it on Sunday, then we're not going to see it. So I hope some of the rumors are wrong. I hope the players don't hate each other. I hope that Wilson is willing to throw the ball towards DK Metcalf. I hope that the defense is willing to at least put it all on the line to try to get some pressure on Garoppolo. I hope all these things, but it's just a really weird and hard time to be a Seahawks fan and figure out how you feel about things. The team has not quit yet. I think the team has come close to quitting a couple times. I've seen the quit in us on a few plays, but you can tie a lot of those plays in with the way the defense is getting hung out to dry to a certain extent right now. But if the team decides that now is the time to just basically show up, maybe put on a good face for a few drives, and then as soon as they go down 10-0, just roll over, I'm not going to be, I'm going to be like, yeah, seems about right to me. That lines up with everything I've seen so far this season. That lines up with what I'm hearing about the team in the rumor mill. And yeah, so first requirement is give some effort, give a good amount of effort. Second requirement is actually play well. That's how far back we've regressed. And I can't believe that this is your all-in season, man. I truly can't believe that this is the way you decided to go all in. You went, well, all in. I'm not going to say we actually went all in because, well, it was the most pathetic all in I've ever seen, but it was an all in. And now we're here, 3-8, season over, and we're just hoping for the team to keep trying. Because I'm not interested in tuning in this Sunday to watch the Niners blow us out like 42-6 because we're just rolling over and taking it. That's really all I got for this one. I usually go a little longer in the pregame videos, but I don't know what else to say about this team, guys. Like, to me, the only thing that's really a question at this point is is Russell Wilson going to be able to mesh with this offense? Everything else I already kind of feel like I know about. See you guys later today. Peace out. Go Hawks.